Welcome to podcasts recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
Thank you, Friends Dan, for that great intro. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living and to our celebration service. We're a Science of Mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and make the world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. All we ask is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life simply by changing your mind. My name is Sandy Liebold. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here on the Center's ecclesiastical team. I always have a hard time saying ecclesiastical. One of those teams. And it's my honor to welcome you. If you're new to the center and joining us in person, there are welcome packets at the back of the room. Hopefully you got one when you came in. Inside you'll find all sorts of information about Centers for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind, and of course things that are going on here at the center. For our global audience, I invite you to find out more about us on our website at cslportland.org. Under the About Us menu tab, you'll find a lot of information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. The website also gives details about the various activities at the center. Everyone is invited to go to our website to sign up for certain email subscriptions that we have. On the home page, just scroll down, and on the right-hand side, there's a space where you can sign up. And the subscription options include a weekly email listing of our events and services. That usually comes out on Tuesday. Our free program called 365 Earnest Homes. If you sign up for this, you'll receive a daily Earnest Homes affirmation sent directly to your email inbox. Each one features a lovely background picture and some reflective material presented by our own Reverend Larry. And the third thing you can sign up for is a birthday celebration. You can get an e-card and a gift on your birthday if you sign up for that. So please do those things on our website. I'd also like to highlight several announcements. As you probably know, since you found us today, our Sunday service is both in person here at the center and on Facebook Live at 11 o'clock Pacific time. Our services are also presented after the fact on YouTube and on podcast. We offer a weekly Wednesday night meditation. That is on Zoom, and that's at 7 p.m. Pacific time. This week, licensed practitioner Sylvia Kearns is leading a meditation called It Works When We Work It. Sounds intriguing. We also have a weekly Friday lunch with Reverend Larry. It happens at 11:30 a.m., again Pacific time, and on Zoom. You can bring your lunch if you like, but the main thing is you get an opportunity to check in with Reverend Larry and other congregants, hang out, ask questions, and it's a great opportunity to do all that. We also have online Zoom groups that meet on a regular basis. Our Social Justice Book Club is monthly, and our 12-step program for women is a weekly thing that is facilitated by practitioner Nancy Ashley. We have a special event coming up. We're celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday this weekend, and there is the Season for Peace and Nonviolence is an annual celebration and opportunity to go deeper into the principles of peace and nonviolence. This begins on January 30th. We have a variety of events and programs scheduled during the 64-day season, and the launch event is on Sunday, January 30th at 6 p.m. on Zoom. So please take a look at the website, get the Zoom link, and join us at that time. Also, we have upcoming our quarterly first quarter town hall meeting. Join us on February 6th. This will be held after the second service. Well, it's the only service right now. And it will happen in person upstairs in our multi-purpose room. But we also are offering this, of course, in a hybrid format where you can participate via Zoom. And at that meeting, there'll be a 2021 year-end status report and a program update on all the things that are happening here at the church. And again, you can get the Zoom link on our website. I'd now like to ask Reverend Marilyn to come up and talk about the upcoming educational offerings. Reverend Marilyn.
Good morning, everyone. We're testing a new mic here and the art of removing one's mask. Okay, the education team has been very, not, I wouldn't say busy, but very attentive to ensuring that there's offerings available for every style, every level of consciousness, everything you can think of. So we have 4 specific events that are coming up. First, and this is happening next week, Gifts of the Pandemic, Envisioning the New Normal. And this is facilitated by licensed practitioner Sandy Leibold and Georgina Eggleston. This is a half-day workshop, so it's next Sunday via Zoom from 12:30 to 3. And here's the description. All of us have experienced losses over the last 2 years as COVID has created health challenges, financial challenges, isolated us from loved ones, disrupted our jobs, etc. So yet this disruption invites us to examine what's important in our lives and to transform our thoughts, beliefs, and ways of being. Let's learn from our losses and envision a new perspective, new habits, and a purpose as we create the new normal. So that's next week, 12:30 to 3. Then we have an upcoming 6-week class. It is a CSL certificated class, so anyone that's thinking possibly of being a practitioner, this would count for that, but you don't even have to be thinking about being a practitioner to participate in the class. It's called Journey of the Soul. It's a brand new class that CSL has released. I'll be facilitating it, and licensed practitioner Donna Wallace is my teaching assistant. It's 6 weeks, Thursday evenings on Zoom from February 3rd to March 10th. And it's from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And if you've ever thought, what's this I am consciousness that we talk about? What is the soul? This is the class to discover your truer, higher self. And so I'm encouraging everyone that is interested in discovering their authentic self to sign up for the class. And we'll also be looking at several different spiritual practices that help us with that in our daily practice. Then we have another workshop available, so you can have half-day workshop, you can have 6-week class, and we have another half-day workshop. This is on a Saturday. It's called the T, as in tithe, word. And it's facilitated by licensed practitioner Nancy Ashley. It's a half-day workshop on Saturday afternoon, February 19th, from 1 to 4 p.m. And in this workshop, participants explore the spiritual practice of tithing and how it is part of establishing and reinforcing our faith and spirit. So heavy emphasis on the law of giving and receiving and how we can become gracious receivers of God's love. So that's Saturday, February 19th from 1 to 4 via Zoom. And I know I've shared it before, but this is probably one of my all-time favorites. It is the very first class I ever took at the Center for Spiritual Living here. It's called Hermetics, Ancient Wisdom for Modern Life. And this is facilitated by Reverend Larry. It's 5 weeks, meets on Monday evenings, February 21st through March 21st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And the law of attraction is just one of 7 principles taught in the Egyptian Hermetic tradition. So if you're familiar with law of attraction, you may have fear of missing out on the other 6. This is the class where you'll learn the other 6 as well. And I can guarantee you it's a lot of fun. There's case studies. It's highly participative. And you'll see the 7 laws that were available in Egyptian Hermetics. Those are our education offerings. There's something for everyone. Everything is on our website. So you go to the home page, scroll down on the right-hand side, it says classes and workshops. You click on that, and it'll take you to the specific pages. Registrations are open. We don't have operators standing by, as Nancy often says, but registrations are open. There is something else that I want to discuss, and that is something that's very popular here at the Portland Center for Spiritual Living, and that is our connection circles. Now, these are free. They're open to everyone. It does require registration. And we have several different connection circles scheduled throughout the week at varying times. And 5 of them are on Zoom, so you'll be in a virtual environment. We have one that is available on Sundays after the celebration service here in the sanctuary at 12:30. So if you think of the Sunday message and you have a perspective on that Sunday message, when you come together in a connection circle, you are in sacred spiritual community, connecting with other individuals and having an opportunity to go deeper and broader with a perception of the Sunday message. It's all on our website. Go to the home page, scroll down, look for the sunflower. It says connection circles. Click on it and you'll see all the information. It does require registration other than the one that's here on Sunday afternoon. That one is a drop-in only. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in virtual spiritual community here in our sanctuary, and let's have some fun learning together.
Thank you, Reverend Marilyn. I know that for me, certainly taking classes was a real way to go deeper, not only in the teaching, but also a great way to connect with other people and get closer to like-minded persons. So, and that can be done even on Zoom. So, our flowers today, as usual, as ever, my goodness, are gorgeous and are courtesy of Kat Jacobs. Our special music today is provided by Kellie Jones with help from our wonderful friends band. Welcome. And Reverend Larry will be giving the talk today. His message is called The Way It Works, part of the essentials on science of mind. So sit back and relax, because I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. This world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace. Inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God.
And so now I invite you to join me in affirmative prayer. As you sit in silence, as you close your eyes or perhaps cast your eyes downward, feel the energy of Mother Earth at your feet, grounding you. Feel the support of the seat, the chair. Feel that God is in fact got your back as you sit in your chair. Because what I know is that God is everywhere present. There is just one power, one presence, one life, one love. It is that which is back and behind everything. It is the first cause. It is source. And it is everywhere present. And I know that this God, this Spirit, this universal consciousness is one of love, is one of wisdom, is one of harmony, is one of peace. And I know that it is always available to me in each and every moment. And I know this because I also know that I am one with Spirit. I am, in fact, an emanation of the divine energy, which is God. And that is true for me. It is true for each of us. We are divine ideas in the mind of God. And God works in and through and as each of us to create the world as we see it, this earthly plane. And so what I know and claim today for me and for anyone who brings this into their heart is that each of us is a co-creator with God. I know this is true, that each of my thoughts, each of my beliefs, that I add my own emotions, that I embody, is part of the creative process. This is how we manifest with God on this planet in each and every moment, whether we know it or not. And so I choose today to consciously open myself and align myself with divine wisdom, with divine love, with peace, and with that divine guidance, wisdom, harmony, wholeness. These qualities I bring into my life and I bring into the world to help bring the world to a place where it is a place that works for everyone. That is my mission, that is my goal, that is my intention for today and for each day. And so I'm so thankful for this knowledge, this teaching that tells us about co-creation, that inspires us to create a world that works for everyone. And now I rest knowing that this is already being done in the mind of God. It is already being manifested even as I release these words. Blessed be, thanks be, and together we say, and so it is. And now we just take a few moments in meditation to consider the guidance and wisdom, the divine right action that is available to us in each and every moment.
Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I'm saying is command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Shine a light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine a light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Thank you very much, Kelly. It's wonderful to have you back. Happy Sunday, everyone. You know, it's always my pleasure in January to do our Back to Basics series. It's a pleasure for a couple reasons. For one, I get to get out my 50th anniversary edition of the Science of Mind textbook, and it's so fun. I mean, I have more underlines in here than probably exist on the planet. Nearly every page has something that caught my attention, and it's always my pleasure to bring about those those maybe early memories for some of you, the first time that you were exposed to this philosophy of science of mind. And of course, my hope is that there are people out there that maybe have never heard of this before that are learning some of those basic teachings of the science of mind. So welcome for the basics today. We started last week with a discussion of what God was, and I did my very darndest to portray just bigger than life version of God, all powerful, all wise, everywhere present, those three omnis that so many of the world's religion talks about. But I did also focus just a little bit on something that makes us different than the other world's religions. When we say that God is everywhere present, in the science of mind, we mean that in a very literal way, because we believe that God is everything. So not just that detached observer kind of feeling, not everywhere presence as in looking down and vaguely judging, but literally everywhere, because it is everything. And so from that definition, we get started, right? From that definition, so many of the other principles and ways of thinking that we hold dear to us in the science of mind are almost like corollaries. They're almost like, well, yeah, if God is everywhere and everything, then ... So today I'm going to launch off on one of the most important of those ... And that is, if God is everywhere and everything, well, hello, we're part of spirit, right? And I would swear to you, this is the most simple and the most difficult of the principles of science of mind to really embody. There's something about our early experiences with religious training. There's something about us that resists that notion that somehow I am part of spirit itself. But I'm here to tell you, it's inescapable. If God is everywhere and everything, that means every last one of us. We are, in fact, an emissary, a part of spirit. And so last week when we were talking about the power of God, the wisdom of God, the grace of God, we went through quite a few of the different things that we attribute to Spirit. Being all good, being all gracious, being all giving, being infinite in its capacity. I was also describing you. Now you might say, well, now wait a minute, Larry, I'm not God. And I get that. We're not God, but we're all part of God. And in the same way that a drop of water from the ocean has all the basic chemicals, all the basic nutrients, all the elements that the ocean in large has, so we, in our smaller way, have access to the same love and light and abundance that is Spirit itself. We are almost a portion of God in the same way that maybe my hand is a portion of my body. Now, one of the things about using a metaphor like this that's interesting is it works actually fairly well for a little bit. Let me use the metaphor of us being like an appendage to Spirit itself. So is my hand powerful? Well, it is. I mean, I have a pretty good grip. Those of you that I've shaken hands with over the years know that I can return it with some strength. And of course, my hand's very useful. It's wise in its own way. It has a sense of purpose in the world. And gosh, if any of you have ever had a sprained hand or been without the use of your hand for any period of time at all, you realize, oh my gosh, yes, my hand is powerful. But see, that's just really the tip of the iceberg, isn't it? If I were to somehow lose my hand and it was just sitting there, unattached on the ground, suddenly its power isn't quite so useful anymore, right? And so by proxy, by its utility, it really is also speaking on behalf of me. It is my volition that gets to move the hand. The hand brings with it the power of the entire body, right? The intelligence of how to use the hand, the motivations for wanting to use the hand. It's a part of me. and yet it's also reflective of who I am. It carries out my wishes in the world. It carries out my intentions. And so in that same way, and this is a way that I'm guessing most of us aren't used to thinking about, but in that same way, we are part of Spirit. And we are, as much as God has intentions in the human realm, on behalf of Spirit, acting out those intentions. Now, you might ask, well, Larry, are you talking about some kind of predestiny, that God has some specific plan for each of us? Well, no, I'm not. That would be some kind of kismet design, and we don't actually believe that somewhere in a golden book is written out exactly what we're supposed to do. I mean, we absolutely believe completely in free will, which is another one of the important principles I want to talk about today. We have completely free will, but God does have some goals, and they're so simply stated. God's goals are simply what you would want for yourself too: health and wholeness, joy and peace, the comfort of living well, the freedom of existence, the abundance in the universe. Those attributes that we give to God are also God's intentions. God is literally working through us and as us every day. And so what does God want for us? No more than it would want for itself, no more than it is itself. God is life, is love, is joy, is peace. And so those are the things that it would invite us to experience as well. And sometimes I like to think, too, that it is God's good pleasure to experience those things through me. How else is God to understand what human love is like, what human joy is like? Well, it gets to experience that through us, right? In the same way that my hand gets to experience the cleanliness of taking a shower, right? The whole body gets to experience that through my hands. And so God, active always, through us and as us. And the talk title today is The Way It Works. Well, how does it work? How does God work? Well, God works on so many different levels, of course. The earth has its own form of God working through us, through volcanoes and through the tides and through all of the natural order of things. But I want to stress today that in the human realm, God 99% of the time is getting God's job done through us humans. And so I want to use a quick example here. I've been doing a certain amount of spiritual practice with clients for many years now, and I still remember this one young woman that came to me, and she said, well, what I'd really like some help with is attracting in the perfect mate. I'm really tired of living by myself. I'm really wanting someone in my life. And she said, I've been trying for so long. I've been listening to what you had to say. I understand how the law of attraction works. I swear to you, I have affirmations around drawing the perfect person to me. I've learned how to do affirmative prayers, those powerful prayers you do on Sunday, and I've been orienting myself every day towards drawing someone beautiful into my life, and it's just not working. And I said, well, okay, oh my gosh, well, let's talk about it a little bit. And so we did talk about it. And honestly, she had some really good affirmations she was using. From a spiritual standpoint, it seemed clear to me she actually kind of did know what she wanted in life. And spiritually, she was putting the right vibe out there. And so I said, well, it's so weird. So is it that you're not drawing, so are you drawing people to you then, and they're the wrong ones? And she said, well, I don't know what you mean. And I said, well, like when you go out and are in a position of meeting people, is it that the wrong people are coming to you? And she said, oh, I don't go out. And I said, well, what do you mean? Are you not do you not have a dating profile? Or are you not out in social events? Or Or, do you belong to a square dance club, or I'm starting to grasp a little bit at straws. How do you meet people? And she said, well, other than church on Sunday, I don't really have any social outlets. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait a minute. How does God get things done in the human realm? It's through people. We have to participate, right, in these activities. God is a co-creator, not a creator. God isn't going to send you the perfect person unless you cooperate. And so that's what I want to stress today is we also have to do our part. We are absolutely co-creators, and next week Reverend Marilyn is going to talk to you about the divine creative process and exactly how that works. So I don't want to steal any of her thunder, but I will say we need to cooperate. We need to be part of the solution here. We have to allow God to literally work through us, because that is the way it works. That is the way God gets God's job done in the human realm, is through us, which leads us to my fabulous joke for today. So there was a dirt farmer who saved up enough money to buy a few inexpensive acres of land. It had a little run-down, weather-beaten farmhouse, sat on the edge of the acreage. It was actually kind of a sad picture of many years of neglect. The land had not been kept up. There were old tree stumps, rusted pieces of machinery, all sorts of debris strewn around here and there. The whole place, in short, a mess. Well, the farmer rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He hauled off the junk, repaired the fence, pulled out the stumps, planted some new trees. Then he refurbished the old house into a quaint cottage with a new roof, new windows, a new stone walkway, brand new paint, finally some colorful flower boxes. He put in his crops, really turned the farm around into something magnificent. Took several years to accomplish this, but finally his last job is completed. He was sitting on the porch just admiring the beautiful spread of land. Who happened to come by the minister of his church? Well, said the minister, it looks like you and God have created a beautiful, beautiful place here. Wiping the sweat from his face, the farmer replied, Yeah, I guess that's true, but you should have seen it when God just had it by himself. And so my next question would be, how do you feel about being part of the activity of God? Do you see yourself that way? Do you see when you embark upon your daily your daily events and the things you do every day, do you see that your hands are the hands of Spirit, that your intentions are an outgrowth of what might be the intentions of Spirit? And remember that intentions of Spirit are at the most simple, just things like love, like life, like wholeness, like wellness, like joy, like abundance. But do you see yourself acting on behalf of Spirit? Now, whether you realize it or not, whether it's intentional or not, you are part of Spirit. It's how we define Spirit in the science of mind. And so literally everything that you are doing, everything that you are thinking is a subset of God's doingness and a subset of God's thinkingness. It's simply how we define things. But how many here, when you go into a restaurant, would just always order the soup du jour? Does everybody know what the soup du jour is? I suspect there are young people that haven't been to a restaurant that has it. So soup du jour, my great aunt was in the restaurant business. And one day I said, how do you plan the soup du jour? And she said, well, it was just yesterday's special. You take yesterday's special, whatever was left over, and you make soup out of it. And then you put it up on the board, and that's the soup du jour. And typically people will ask, well, what is the soup of the day? What is the soup du jour? And, oh, well, it's beef and broccoli or whatever it is. But I suspect that most of us, without even realizing it, are acting on behalf of Spirit every day without giving any thought to what you are actually doing. In effect, you're just going along with the flow. You're just saying, sure, I'll take the soup du jour. I have no particular plan on what I want to do or how I want to be. I'm just existing. Now, I don't want to imply that we need to overcomplicate our lives, right? I'm not thinking that every single thing that we need to do has some kind of a purpose to it or some kind of a divine intention. But I would like to think that most often our impulses are from that place of spiritual guidance, from that place of wanting a greater degree of wholeness for ourselves and our family, from that place of wanting a greater degree of love and communication and interaction with the people that are close to us and the people around us. I would hope that if there is a plan, it's towards a greater involvement with other people, towards greater efforts towards solidarity and love with our fellow human beings. But I would say, if it's just the soup du jour, there's a fair amount of bad soup going on right now. If you've been reading, just it's within the last 24 years there were captives held in a Jewish synagogue. It's like, what's up with the world that there seems to be so less tolerance and just the ability to be with people that are different than us? That certainly is not acting, I don't think, on behalf of spirit. And so maybe it's time to do a little bit of check-in. I'm giving you a scoop, I'm sure you realize, on your homework for this week. And so I might as well be out with it before I do a summary and some other things here. So your homework this week is, how are you acting on behalf of spirit? Have you checked in to see what the soup du jour is, and are you okay with it? Is it all right for you just to keep carrying on? Or are there some things that you would like to change on behalf of yourself and behalf of the other people on this planet? Are there things that you might do that would make this planet safer or more loving for yourself and your family and your neighbors and the world at large? Are there things that you might be doing that would help prolong the life of this planet a little longer, so that we're not being so quickly propelled into global warming and some of the worldwide shortages that seem to be coming our way? Are you perhaps willing and able to do a few things that would assist other people that, due to circumstances even beyond their control, have put them in a position of disenfranchisement or poverty? Are, in short, you willing to check out just your daily life and see if it can promote more of those qualities of spirit? Can you act more consciously on behalf of God in your daily affairs, so that the way it works becomes God more often taking the path of joy, of love, of peace, of wholeness, of health? It starts with each one of us. Now, I know God is going to take care of the bigger scheme of things. We don't need to worry about God's scale of keeping the planets in their orbits and keeping the galaxies spinning. We don't need to concern ourselves with how the tectonic plates are creating volcano. I was just reading about a volcano offshore, off Western Samoa, that's troubling people right now. It's like God's going to take care of things at that level, but on the human level, when it comes to how we treat each other, when it comes to how we live in society with one another, when it comes to setting up an environment where we're safe and we're healthy and we're connected and we're feeling loved and we're feeling that power moving through us in a way that's beneficial to us and beneficial to other people, we are actually responsible for that. If not, we're just like that client of mine sitting at home in her house, somehow magically thinking that God was going to deliver her a boyfriend on what? Is like the UPS man going to show up at her door one day and say, I'd like to date you, right? It's like, no, we have to if we want a better life, we have to participate in it. If we want a better planet for humanity, we have to be instrumental in it. And it doesn't have to be giant plans. We don't have to suddenly become a Martin Luther King Jr., but we need to take steps along those kinds of paths. We need to be willing to say, does this take me closer to being kinder? Does this take me closer to inviting more people to the table? Does it come closer to me being a force of love and light and prosperity in the world? Or is it taking me away from it? See, this is the consciousness I'm talking about. This is asking what is the soup du jour before you just start eating it. Oh my God, the soup du jour is broccoli soup, and I don't like broccoli. I don't stand for broccoli. I want something more positive. I want something more loving. I'm going to stand for love, and if that means I have to be in someone, do something that's unusual for me, or take a commitment to making changes in my neighborhood or life, if you want to stand for something, it will take your motivation. It will require your action. It will require you to examine what you're doing right now and perhaps move beyond it. Certainly celebrate the great success we already have in our lives. As I look around, I see so many people that I know and love and care about, and I know that everyone in this room right now, I will just say this, everyone in this room right now, I know you well enough to know that you are good people and would always want the best for everyone. And then I also have to ask, and is that enough, or could we be making greater progress? Is there an element in your life right now that is underexpressed? Are you as loving as you could be? Are you as generous as you could be? Are you as helpful as you could be? Is there an area where you would like to make progress? It is God making progress through you. You are the very essence of life itself, of love itself, of joy of self. And you're the only one, we as humans are the only ones that can bring that about for humanity. It isn't magically going to happen. It isn't somehow going to organically spring from the earth happiness. It requires us to make an effort, a conscious effort, to do things a little differently. So let me summarize today. We've talked about the allness of God, the completeness of God. God is every person, every place, everything, every idea. It's all God. And today what we have learned, and I hope embraced, is that means us. That God doesn't get anything done in the human realm without our participation. God literally works through us every day. And the choice that we have, is it doing that sort of on autopilot, or is there some intentionality to it? We also talked about the idea of being an individualized center of spirit, that we have that capacity, like the hand having the full power of the body at its disposal. So we, as an element of God, as a spiritualized and individualized center of God, we too have the full force of God. And again, Reverend Marilyn's going to talk about that more next week, how we can begin to harness that full power of God. So you'll just have to trust me on that one for now. But in the same way that our hand gets to use the resources of the body, so we get to use the resources of spirit itself. And then finally, we talked a little bit, I would say, about our responsibility. If we want to live the good life, do not we have the responsibility as well as the power to bring about that good life? Shall we not just sit in our room anymore hoping for the best, but rather begin taking positive steps towards improvement in our lives and the lives of everyone? So I'm going to close today with a quote from the Science of Mind textbook. You know, we're working through those first 4 chapters, and so this is the way that chapter number 2 ends. Then, knowing that the thing itself can work for us only by working through us, let us begin to accept more good than we experienced yesterday, and to know that we shall reap a harvest of fulfilled desires. The time must come when we shall have left behind all apparent evil, when it shall be rolled up like a scroll and numbered with the things which were simply once thought to be true. Let us realize and work with this sound knowledge and perfect faith, that as high as we shall make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall its outward manifestation be in our material world. Let us pray. There is one power, one presence, only this one thing, and it is everything. Every person, every place, every situation, all of it is God. And of course, that means me. That means each one of us an individualized center of spirit. Each of us having those sparks of the divine, the love of God, the joy of God, the peace of God, the commitment of God to bringing about greater and more powerful impulses in the world. It's us. It's each one of us. And so for this day, I claim both the power and the responsibility of being part of Spirit. The power, the full power of God, that power that created the heavens and the earth, I claim it, but I also claim the responsibility of allowing God to move through me as peace, as love, as joy, as wholeness, as harmony, as good health. And as it is true for me, I know it is true for each one of us. Each of us has this power. Each of us has this responsibility. And so for this knowledge, I give thanks. I release this prayer into the activity, into the action of the law. I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you so much for being here today. So glad to have you. Now is our time of conscious contribution. If you'd like to take your gift or your tithe, whatever it is you've brought to share with us today. Those of you online, I invite you to go to cslportland.org/donate. There's a variety of ways that you can contribute online as well as in person. But for now, if you'd like to repeat after me, wait a minute. Where am I today? I got excited again. Let's see. Graciously I give. Thank you. I'm so glad to have OS people here on my side. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Would the ushers please begin receiving the gifts?
Enough, more than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more, much more than enough, more than enough. I need more than enough. I have more than enough. I have more than enough, more, much more than enough, 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 more, much more than enough, more, much more than enough. "20 feet down the road, You reap what you sow. And so I believe with one little seed, bigger, better, beautiful grows. Because I see the faithful, they have all that they'll need. Within, 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 there's a mother. Within, 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 there's a father. Within, 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 there's a love. Within. Oh, oh, oh. No, no, no. Oh, oh, oh. There's a magnet that's pulling my life. When it's 50 below, a beauty song I see, hunger and need, and my eyes won't cry in the cold. I remember the fire burning inside of me. Within, 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 there's a mother. Within, 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 there's a father. Within, 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 there's a love. Within. Within, 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 there's a mother. Within, 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 there's a father. Within, 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 there's a love. Within, growing within. Yeah, it's burning within. Yeah, it's growing within. Yeah, it's growing within.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, would you come up and we'll bless the offering. Look, I can even talk with the mask on. Who knew? On behalf of the Portland Center for Spiritual Living, I receive these gifts with great love. I know that our vision of a world that works for everyone, our mission of personal empowerment, I know that as we pay our bills, as we give gifts to other nonprofits, this circle of love expands in the world. I'm grateful for this. I let it be, and so it is. So just one quick reminder, in addition to those classes and workshops that I know you're logging on to check out, I just want to mention that one of the other services that we have here is prayer support. If there's something going on in your life and you'd like a little extra help via prayer, please count on us. Here in the sanctuary, we have prayer request cards on the back table there next to licensed practitioner Sean Larkin. There are cards you can fill out, put in the prayer box. And then online, for our larger online audience, at the bottom of all of our web pages, cslportland.org is a link to make a prayer request. If you fill that in, it's automatically distributed day or night to all of our licensed practitioners and ministers. It's truly our pleasure to pray for you throughout the week. So if there's something going on, you'd like some spiritual help, please count on us. For now, though, I think it's time to close out, and for our benediction, if you'd like, you can stand and just repeat after me. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, I expect it, and I am it, just the way that I am. Please know with me that you are never alone, if at any time during the day or night. If forgetfulness might creep upon you, I invite you to go within. On that altar of the Most High, recognize you are loved. And in gratitude for this certainty, I let it be, and so it is.
I am loved, I am loving, I am loved. I am loved, I am loving, I am loved. It's the truth of who I am when I forget. Spirit reminds me again. I am loved, I am loving, I am loved. You are loved. You are loving, you are loved. You are loved, you are loving, you are loved. It's the truth of who you are. Shine your light near, yes, near and far. You are loved, you are loving, you are loved. We are loved. We are loving, we are loved. We are loved, we are loving, we are loved. It's the truth of who we are. Shine your light near, yes, near and far. We are loved, we are loving, we are loved. You are loved, you are loving, you are loved. I am loved, I am loving, I am loved. Have a blessed afternoon.
If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We have inspirational services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our online listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.